Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn on your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I am so grateful for the support and love you all give me here. Thank you all so much. You are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a white man who actually said, he started by, oh, I saw this filter, the mehmet filter that turns whoever to a black man. I mean, he just wanted to know what he is going to look like as a black man, and he decided to use it. And the filter, like, showed him how. And a lot of people in the comment section were like, man, this is digital blackface. You shouldn't be caught doing something like this. Even his own people all came out to tell him, man, you should not be caught doing something like this, that this is not okay. Young man said there is nothing wrong with that black people are being so racism to him because they spoke out. I mean, it's just amazing how they always pull this reverse racism on black people. Like, I just don't understand it. Bro, you need to go back to school, because we cannot be racism to you. Man, there is nothing like reverse racism. And you know what? People are not finding it funny. People think it's creepy. People think it's just so silly. And he's out there talking all in the rubbish, because that is what he's talking. I'm just going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And straight up, I am rolling the clip.
A black mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn me black and what I would look like as a black man. So let's see. Like, what would this face look like with dark skin? I'm really curious. Oh, that's a horrible face. Let's see what happens, though. Oh my gosh. I almost look Egyptian, but the color... that's a sexy black man. My gosh.
Whoa, broski. Don't be going on here calling everyone dumbasses and that they're gonna get knocked when you're gonna call me someone who's hating. Calling me a racist, hating on black people when you going around saying all of this crap, bro. Secondly, it was just a filter. Everyone's going ballistic about it. You were one of the many people who claimed that I was using this filter to interpret blackface. But when hundreds of thousands of black creators use a white filter, it's not considered.
Well, hello there. That's because it's not the same. And I don't want to call you an uneducated ghetto bird, but I also don't like lying. Now, I don't know who you think you are talking to your betters like that, but this is what happens when we let y'all in the house. Y'all start contemplating and thinking for yourselves when you're better at polishing silver for your master. I'm going to go ahead and learn you something, boy. Now, I'm going to read it for you, because you know y'all ain't supposed to be reading. But this is the difference. Blackface is used to refer to the practice of wearing makeup to imitate the appearance of a black person. The use of such makeup was associated with minstrel shows in the United States from the 1830s until the mid-20th century. You see, that's called it has a history behind it. I know this is going to be hard for you to follow, but using a white filter is not the same as y'all covering your face in shoe polish and dancing around with chicken and watermelons as you use an exaggerated version of our accents.
My point is that you shouldn't care, and there should not be any spaces for any race.
See, there you go, thinking again. Listen, the caveman mind is not equipped to make logical arguments. Because if it was, then you would be down there at the white supremacist offices letting them know, because what they do is actually harmful. So instead of being outside working in the fields being useful, you decided to steal a phone and secretly get on TikTok to bash black people.
Frank and honest, if I was on America's Got Talent and it was between me and a black person, I would feel like I wouldn't be chosen just because they're black. And if they chose me as a white man to win America's Got Talent would get canceled for being racist. That's what I fear in today's age.
You'd probably lose for having a weak grasp of the English language. Did you say I wouldn't be choosed? And that's what you fear in today's age? Now, what you fear is work. That's why you ain't red as a beet. But excuse me for not having sympathy about you being fearful that you can't win America's Got Talent. What I fear most is my son ending up on a t-shirt because of a cop, or my daughters dying in childbirth because we die at 3 times the rate of white women, or being strung up by a tree under mysterious circumstances. Now get your ass out there in them fields, Negro.
A black mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn me black.
Are you? I mean, obviously it's going to. And I saw your response video where you discussed blackface. That was a great video where you completely man and white-splained the topic. But at the end of the day, the filter's not for you. It's not for us. So why you just parked your white ass right into the seat and said, I'm going to just use it anyway, is beyond me. There's no reason for us to use it. It is a form of blackface. You get to don it as a costume just because you wanted to see what it looks like. But the people who are supposed to be using it don't have that privilege. That's just what they have. And it's usually used against them. Why don't you just let them have it? The filter was made for them so that they could experience something that we get all the time. We have a million filters that are made for us all the time. They have one. Let them have the one. And when people come to you to try to explain why your behavior is problematic, you should probably just listen and then reflect on it rather than trying to educate the masses on why you're right and everybody else is wrong. You don't get to tell other people that they don't get to be offended.
Someone made a black mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn me black.
Y'all are weird. You're so obsessed with us. We make a song. I'm a black Barbie pretty face. And you guys use the song, that lyric. Canacolon and Cinnamon. You use that lyric. And now someone wants to do the black mermaid filter to see what they would look like as a black person. And the people in the comments who aren't even black are saying, oh my God, that isn't blackface, get over it. You're like, you're reaching? That's not reaching. It's insensitive. Even if you didn't think that you meant any harm. When people tell you you're doing harm, listen. I'm not here to bully you or hit on you, but listen. Because what you did was a little weird. It's giving get out. Giving the hypersexualization of black men and women.
Black mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn me black.
See, and this is what we be talking about when we say white people don't know how to mind their business. I get that it's just a filter, it's a haha funny, what do I look like as a black man? But it's not for you. It wasn't made for you, so just, I don't know, don't use it or don't post it, because for me as a black woman, it just gives me the creeps. Like, mind your business. Use literally every other AI filter. Like, I don't know, it just, mind your business.
So someone made a black mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn.
Okay, y'all, you have to watch the rest of this video. It's very interesting, and I'm confused and torn because I don't know. Is this digital blackface? What's happening here? I'm confused. Oh, I gotta go. The Black Caucus is calling. We're gonna meet and confirm and figure out if this is digital blackface. Is this racist? We're not really sure yet. We're working into new territory here.
So. Oh my.
See, I personally would never use a filter that turns me white. So I feel like that alone gives you an insight into the minds of colonizers and people who feel the need to cultural appropriate. It's not enough to rip people out of their lands or go to people's lands and take their resources and their homes and their identities. You have to actually steal our identities and become our identities. And I just find that so weird because, like I said again, I don't know one black person who would, for any reason, want to turn themselves white. And I think that speaks for itself.
A quote that I live by is, "A foolish man will uttereth all of his words at once, but a wise man will..."
Okay, but hold on one second. Have you ever heard that quote, that it's better to stay silent than to open your mouth and remove all doubt that it is you who is the moron? I think some deep consideration and reflection on that thought, on that quote, might be beneficial to you.
So someone made a Black Mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn...
Did y'all see that? Please go watch the whole video. Is that not the beginning of like a like an Afro sci-fi horror novel, like where I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get my thoughts. But no, okay, so stay with me. So picture a novel where it starts off so innocent, the white people discover this Black mermaid filter, and it starts off really innocent. Everybody's just making these TikToks and enjoying the way they look as a Black person. And then some company, some multi-billionaire child decides, I'm going to make this a reality for myself, right? And they're already doing that, right? There are already people that are like talking about their transracial, right? The Rachel Dolezals, I forget that other German lady. But just imagine this novel. I mean, hell, is it a novel? Is it real life? Is this gonna happen for real? Oh shoot. Okay. All right. Let me get up over here.
Someone made a Black Mermaid AI filter, and I'm curious to see if it'll turn me...
You seem like a nice, respectable guy, and I understand that you are curious, but how about we don't do the digital blackface thing right now? I mean, what a lot of y'all don't understand is that the reason why some of these things are made is because there were not spaces for Black people. So the fact that y'all are coming into spaces for Black people and taking away from those spaces for Black people is kind of insulting and offensive, but...
Never once mentioned the characteristics of a Black person. So please tell me how it was blackface.
I'm glad you asked. So how about we take a look at what digital blackface is, because you only looked up what blackface was. But let's look up what digital blackface is. Digital blackface. Noun. The use by white people of digital depictions of Black or brown people or skin tones, especially for the purpose of self-representation or self-expression. So you see, you don't have to even mention like the characteristics of Black people or their skin tone or anything. The fact that you just used the Black Mermaid filter because you were curious about how you will look as a Black person. It's digital blackface, my guy. And when Black or brown people are stepping up and telling you that you are wrong, maybe instead of talking over Black and brown people, how about you listen? Take accountability, change your actions, maybe take the video down. Like, what are we doing here?
A lot of racial discussion on my channel lately due to the fact that I was using an AI filter that changed my skin color. And as talking about racial topics is not my usual or typical content, it is something that I occasionally speak out about because it is something that I am very passionate about. And it being a passion can sometimes make me a little bit fired up, so I decided I was going to take a little bit more of a calm approach to discuss both sides of the spectrum on this racial topic. So one of the things that I hear a lot amongst the people who don't agree with what I have to say is, why don't you shut your mouth and just listen? Or why don't you just film an apology video and take the other ones down? Well, first of all, I don't really feel like apologizing for being white. And secondly, I don't feel keeping my mouth shut because I was born with a skin color that I did not choose. And to those of you who say, just listen to the people, I wouldn't be making these videos if I didn't listen, first of all. And secondly, as a white man and an American, listening is all I've ever been allowed to do. A quote that I live by is, a foolish man will uttereth all of his words at once, but a wise man will wait to speak and listen. And to be quite honest, I feel like it's time to speak. So now that we're here, let's talk about both sides of the racial topic and why there is an issue between the two. But before moving forward, this is not to say that racists don't exist, because I know they do, nor that racial injustice is still happening, because I acknowledge that it is. And this is something that as human beings we all should be annihilating and taking charge of. So let's talk about equality and equity. Equality is when everyone, no matter gender, race, sexuality, etc., is given the exact same treatment. Equity, on the other hand, similar to the way our government already works with food stamps and military benefits, etc., is when people are given treatment based on the experiences they have personally been through. People who believe in equity don't believe that equality is enough. In other words, because of the color of their skin, they deserve compensation for what their ancestors have been through. Now this is where I, as a white man, come into play into the whole scenario. I acknowledge that unfortunately my ancestors have done a lot of awful things in our history towards people of color and black people alike. But I, as a white American individual in 2023 in the 21st century, have never discriminated based on the color of your skin. In fact, I never even thought once about the color of someone's skin until I seen it all over social media. And should there be laws in place to protect those who are people of color? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because the most unacceptable thing is when racial injustice happens. And what I am starting to see more and more of is people who believe in equity are trying to balance out the scales by switching roles with the people who once were racially discriminatory against people of color and blacks. Now that being said, I would love for you all to consider one thing. Just because what is happening right now is our present and our personal experience, that doesn't mean that one day it won't be history. Right now, as we speak, you are making history. This video will go down in history. And if we want to see a future of unity, we all need to work together to make that future. And if you believe that reverse racism doesn't exist, then you would be right. Because it's simply just racism. And it should not exist against any race. And my goal here today is to make a safe space for every single individual. And secondly, as a white man and an American, listening is all I've ever been allowed to do.
Be so fucking for real right now.
So this is how I got from the stitches. And first, you see what there is something they always pull, and this is some, like, you know, I hate the fact that some of them do not want to ever listen. I mean, this is not good for us. I mean, this, I don't understand, but like, you know, some people are so adamant. When people do not like a certain things, why not try as much as you can to, like, you know, not do it? Or when you probably did it out of mistake, right? Why not apologize and move on? If you feel like there is no need to apologize, why not take the video down? It's more like, oh, I retract my whatever and the rest of it. And now this young man, this red decision is pulling reverse racism. You know, when they try to put reverse psychology on people. So he is pulling reverse racism for all the things he has done. So like for people, black people or and other people coming to tell him, man, this is not cool. Even his own people told him, man, this is not cool. Do not do it. Stop doing it. Rather than him to listen, he just went back to say black people are being racist to him. And that really sucks. And like, how long are you guys going to keep doing this? Because really, like, I don't see how people are saying we do not like this. And even when I saw that picture, I was like, that is cringy. Like, you know, it's kind of somehow, right? And people said it like, man, this is not cool. This is not okay. And the truth is that it is not okay. Why do you have to, like, he kept running, going forward and back, like calling black people out for no just reason. And it really amazes me how black people are just gonna be minding their businesses, like minding their business, the business that pays them. And some people from nowhere would just like, wake up and like pick on them because they want to know what they will say, because they want to hear, like, that really sucks. And it's very draining waking up to things like this. I am not gonna lie to you, it is draining. There are days I finish talking about all this, like, and I am all down, like I can't do anything. My mood is kind of like, interrupted, and the rest of it, like, it is very draining. So I don't know, like, if I am feeling this way, how do you people feel? For some people will be like, oh, yo, we're already used to it, it's been years and all that. Man, this is not something someone will be used to. Like, there are some of them you still get triggered, and the rest of it. Anyways, let me know what you're all thinking in the comment section. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.